Just for a moment, imagine. Imagine wondering what or if you'll feed your family today. Imagine a home with one room, dirt floors, no heat, and no hot water. Imagine living in a city dump in a house of cardboard and rusted metal and old plywood. Imagine having a terminal disease, but the basic treatment's not available for you. Imagine earning less than $4,000 a year with costs that are similar to those here in the United States. This may be hard to imagine, but it is a reality. My name is Cindy Shrewsberry, and this is not my life. It never has been my life. Before 1997, I could not imagine even living this way, nor did I want to think of it. I knew poverty existed, but it was very foreign to me. My first trip to Ecuador changed this. It really changed the way I understood the world. Poverty is so hard to imagine until you see it up close. Then the reality of it hits you. You look around and you know that this is not the way it's supposed to be. This reality did not fit into my world. What it left me with was a feeling of desperation and a very haunting question. How could we be in such different circumstances? Why them? Why not me? With no answers, I finally realized there were only two choices. You either try and change this reality, or you choose to ignore it. Ecuador is a country of 14.5 million people, all of whom live in a country that is smaller than the state of Nevada. Unemployment runs high, but underemployment is higher. There is no middle class, just rich and poor, and there's no shortage of needs for the poor. They struggle to live day to day. But despite the poverty I saw, I fell in love with the country of Ecuador, its culture, and its people. They are a people that are easy to love. And after many trips, I count many of them as my friends. Ecuador has become a part of my life and my family and my heart, and because of this journey, there is now a ministry with our hands, Hands for Ecuador. But before I tell you about that, let me tell you about Ecuador itself. Ecuador is located on the western part of South America, and it's bordered by the Pacific Ocean, Colombia, and Peru. The landscape range from rainforests to coastal lands to mountain ranges. It's the home of the Galapagos Islands and Cotopaxi, the highest active volcano in the world. And with all these landscapes come many different types of exports like petroleum and bananas, coffee, and some of the world's most beautiful roses. You also see many natural disasters like earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, flooding, and landslides are constant. The people of Ecuador are as diverse as its land. Ecuador is home to the Mestizo people, who are of mixed European and Amerindian descent, the European people, and the Amerindian people, who are ancestors of the Inca people. Many of them still live as their ancestors once did, and they are the poorest of the poor in Ecuador. Ecuador is run by a president and Congress elected by the people. Most Ecuadorians are not highly educated. Most never make it through high school. Their lack of education and poverty make it unlikely that most will be politically active. But even with the day-to-day struggles this country and its people face, it has a beauty and culture that is unique unto itself. Without a doubt, Ecuador is a land of many faces. Hands for Ecuador is a new ministry created in 2009 with the hope of helping the poor of Ecuador. This ministry seeks to meet the needs in a variety of ways and is intended to be open to all who feel led to help meet these needs, regardless of religious denomination. We work in conjunction with John and Karen Lambert, who are missionaries to Ecuador. We hope to accomplish several different ministries. The food project is designed to raise money to buy basic food staples like beans and rice and noodles for families in Ecuador. The food is used to help families survive when there is no food due to illness, underemployment, or unemployment. Our building projects are for helping build pastors' homes and churches. And when we do a building project, we always spend time with the neighborhood children each afternoon. The Happy Feet project is designed to help raise money for school shoes for children in Ecuador. This is an expense that most families can't bear, especially when they're fighting to put food on the table. The Pastors' Care projects are for the education of the pastors so that they may in turn teach their congregations. This involves training in marriage and family relationships, as well as training about the effects of abuse and violence, which are so prevalent in the country. These projects make up the core of Hands for Ecuador. So if you're watching this, you're probably wanting to know, what do you need from me? Your hands. Hands that close in prayer, hands that provide financial help, hands that can mix mortar, hand out food, and hands that will touch lives. Why Ecuador? Because your hands can have a big impact. The need is great, and when we put our hands together, we can have an even greater impact. But let me warn you, when you give your hands, your heart will be close behind.